Hello and welcome back to Chengi's World. I am Chengi and you, my precious one, are my world. Thank you so much for joining me today. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. And for those of you who keep coming back, as loyal and faithful as you are, my precious ones, I love you. You know who you are. Thank you so much for coming back. So today is Men Talk Monday. Yeah. Hello. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about why your man has changed. Okay, so this video is really about the transitions that go through in a man's mind during a dating, courtship, relationship. It kind of sucks, but I'm here to help you understand men that little bit better so that you don't feel so bad or mess up a good thing just because you didn't quite understand the twists and turns. I've got another video on this channel called learning to navigate the shifts in a relationship, so you can go and check out that video on my channel. If you just scroll through the many videos that are on this channel, you will find it. And this is really an extension of that video, or part two if you like, of that video of understanding the shifts in the relationship and the shifts that happen in a man's mind and how a man's mind is really wired when he is in a relationship. One of the things that we need to understand about masculine energy is that it's very goal focused. It's very I am going to do A, I'm going to achieve A, and then I'm going to move to B, and then I'm going to move to C, and then E, right? And so that's great, that's wonderful in a business setting, in any other place, but in relationships it's very difficult for us women to embrace that mindset because we are not so goal orientated in the same way. For us, we when we meet a guy, we meet him, we want him to love us, we want what we had in the beginning to continue to flow through till our goal is usually marriage. But marriage is never really the goal. Really the goal is family, and we're not as goal oriented. We're quite willing to go with the flow, quite willing to maintain a certain standard. We are built differently. We are more fluid, more flexible, more, and I'm talking here about the feminine woman, not necessarily the masculine one. Okay, so we're talking about the masculine man and the feminine woman in this scenario because we know that they can come in different variations. Okay, so the masculine man will look at a girl across the room and say she's fine, she's so pretty. He's gonna look at that woman and think, yeah, that's the woman that I want to have in my life. So that is goal number one. So he will do whatever he will spend whatever amount of money, he will take whatever amount of time, he will say whatever he needs to say, go wherever he needs to go, eat whatever he needs to eat to make sure that he gets that girl. So he will hone his resources into achieving that goal. And obviously he wants to get that done as quickly and as efficiently as possible. He does not want to be messing around, left, right, center, trying to figure out, what's going on. He wants to get to that goal as quickly and as efficiently and as money and time saving as possible, because that is the way that he thinks. Okay, so the moment he gets that girl, his job is to make sure that he secures her affection and he secures her love. So at this point, as a woman, you're going through this beautiful euphoria. You've met this guy, he has got all the time in the world, he calls you every day, pings you in the morning, in the afternoon, tells you you're beautiful, sends you flowers, and really goes for it. And then one day, just that minute where you say, you know what, I love you too, or he starts to feel like, yeah, I got the girl, she's feeling me, she's not going anywhere. You have invested enough for him to know that he's got the girl. Then all of a sudden, poof, pop goes the weasel. Ghosting time. No, he doesn't quite ghost you. He doesn't call you every morning or ping you every day like he used to. He's still around. He begins to breadcrumb you a little bit. You start to feel a little bit neglected. You haven't seen flowers in quite a while. He's not got that much time that he used to have to talk to you on the phone for 2 to 3 hours. Things are not quite the way they used to be, and you feel like the rug has been pulled from underneath you. But he has simply just achieved that goal. Now he's on to goal number 2. Now he's got the girl. What women have to understand is he was after the girl, he got the girl, now he's moving on to his next mission. The next mission might be in his head. If you are the kind of woman that he adores and you had a great time and nothing has really gone wrong in your relationship, there are no real issues, he just seems to have sort of in your mind disappeared, focusing more on his work, is because the next goal is to put a ring on your finger and to make sure that he's got a home and he can supply and provide and be this guy. So now the goal is to secure a certain amount of financial stability, to accumulate a certain amount of financial wealth, because he knows that you're going to want a nice little ring. He knows that he's going to want to put you in a beautiful home that you deserve, buy you that car that you need, and support you and all of your needs along the way. So that is his next goal. And then what he does is he takes away the resources from goal number 1 that has now been accomplished, well done him, to now put them in goal number 2. So he begins to invest his time, effort, and energy in the job. He wants to get that promotion so he can earn more money, so that he can buy you that ring, or that he can provide that house, or help you with your car, or whatever it is that he's trying to do. Remember, I'm talking about a masculine man who is and has good intentions. His goal, his focus, his energy, his thoughts are now onto a completely different goal. He's oblivious to the fact that you are here on this side wondering where all the romance has gone, where all the love has gone, where the phone calls have gone, where the sweet talking has gone. It's all gone, right? You're sitting here thinking, what are we doing here? And you're trying to coax him out of the new place that he's at, out of that other phase in his relationship, in order to give you back that attention. And to him, it just sounds like you're demanding, you're asking too much, you're high maintenance. And then the friction begins to happen, because he doesn't realize that he has left one goal. He doesn't realize that a woman's mind is not programmed. Like, he's expecting you to understand him like a man would, and not, oh yeah, he's gone to his grind. You know, you are trying to tug him and pull at him and saying, hey, I'm still here. I'm still this being that needs affection and love. I still need you to do what you did in the beginning. And he's thinking you're just too much effort. And sometimes if men and women are not aware of this dynamics, is usually when the breakups begin to happen. This is where the people begin to shift, and he starts to feel overwhelmed by your demands, and you feel neglected and duped and used and whatever else. Well, now that he's got laid, he doesn't have time for me anymore. Or now that, you know, I told him I loved him, now that I agreed to be his girlfriend, he's gone and disappeared. What on earth could he be doing? Has he found somebody else? What is it that he's doing? He had a job when he met me. How come he had time in that job to spend with me? Now he doesn't have the time anymore. Is he using that as an excuse to dump me? Is this his way of whatever? In a female mind, in the feminine mind, all of this is what going on. But in the masculine mind, he's just moved on to goal number 2. And so that continues to happen, and then he will come back and you know, okay, he's come back as being romantic. Oh, okay, ring, okay, marriage. And sometimes in marriage, and as a married woman, she's thinking, but it was beautiful and romantic. I don't see him anymore. And the cycles continue, because a man is moving from one goalpost to the next goalpost to the next goalpost, and is oblivious to the repercussions of those shifts. And because men in general, masculine men in general, don't always feel the need to be educated when it comes to relationships, even women sometimes don't feel the need to be educated. We think that these things should be intuitive. We think that somebody should understand when we shift, and men are not very, you know, always, the masculine man is not always very good at articulating his thoughts or what he's doing. He just almost expects you to be intuitive about it. Now, a feminine woman, a feminine woman who watches my videos and understands what's going on here, and understands, oh, okay, this is what's happening now. He got the girl. He's apprehended the prize. He's got that trophy. It's on his mantle. You know, begins to understand that calling him and coaxing him and accusing him of not giving you enough time and attention is only going to bring tension in this relationship. But at this point, this is your opportunity to get yourself busy with your life too. It's time for you to disembark from the beautiful, amazing roller coaster journey that was so lovely, and just get onto the new boat, get onto the new situation, and begin to work on your purpose and begin to work on the things that have been on your heart to do. And as you begin to take your energy away from the relationship and onto the things that need your attention right now, onto your children, all your friends that you weren't talking to when you were being in love with Johnny Boy over here, all your family that you haven't seen, spending time with your family, your sisters, writing, finishing that book, or doing whatever it is that you were doing or neglected to do while you were caught up in Loveville with Johnny. As you begin to take your attention away, he begins to feel energetically that he doesn't quite have you. It's really important in the attraction, in the laws of male-female attraction, and the rules. I don't really like rules, but the nature of male and female attraction is that, or attraction at all, is something that we can have but we can't have. It's important to be mysterious. It's important to be the kind of woman that does give a man that space, that does have a life of her own, that does have things that she is building, things that could potentially take her away, things that could potentially cause somebody else to take her away. When we feel that we don't quite have something, we labor for it a little bit harder. We try a little bit harder. When a man feels that he has you hook, line, and sinker, if he doesn't call you, you're going to get upset, that your whole world revolves around his text messaging, his phone calls, the days that he calls you on. If he feels like she's here, she's all in, she's not going anywhere, she's here to stay, chances are that is when he begins to take you for granted and begins to consider your feelings less and less and less and less, because he knows that he can always come back when he is ready, when it suits him, and you'll be here like a little puppy. When you gonna come? When am I gonna see you again? Call me. You know, he knows, a man knows when he's got a woman hook, line, and sinker. But everyone is attracted to that person that we have to still chase a little bit. A woman who he knows is loyal, and a woman that he knows is faithful, has integrity, but actually, you know, you don't quite have her. There is potentially an opportunity for somebody to come do better than you. There's potentially an opportunity for her to be so engrossed in other things that actually you don't want her to miss you too much. So it's all about having authentically a life of your own, having a purpose that you're pursuing, and understanding that that is the only thing that will cause him to turn around and say, oh my gosh, I haven't spoken to her. She hasn't been chasing me. She hasn't been calling me. She hasn't been demanding. She hasn't been criticizing me. She hasn't been throwing tantrums. She hasn't actually been chasing me down. You know, I really better check on her and see what she's doing. Okay, I better check on her and see where we are here. You know, that is not to say that you cannot send a loving and concerned text. Hi, how are you? It's been a while. Just checking in, making sure you're okay. Got loads to do. We'll speak soon, or whatever. Just to let him know you're not sulking, and you're not sort of throwing a pity party or a tantrum. You know, you're just letting this man know that you have a life, you have things going for you right now, and you're enjoying them. And it's up to him to secure the bag, because who knows, something better might come along, somebody more willing to spend time with you might come along. But obviously we don't want to be playing silly games and jealousy games. What we're trying to do here is really build understanding amongst the men and the women. And so I hope that helps you understand the shifts that sometimes happens in relationships where you might feel neglected. It doesn't happen in all relationships, not all the time, but more or less at some point, whether it's at the from dating to courtship phase or courtship to marriage phase, often there's that shift of priorities in your man's mind, and that manifests sometimes as neglect, and our instinct is to go in pursuit of it instead of lean back in your feminine energy and let him come to you. Hello. So thank you so much for watching. This is all I have for you today. I will see you soon on my next video. Take care of you. Bye bye.